why are you on the market? Is there something mentally wrong with you?
Every day, just go along dawn till sundown.
I love your store.
Ah, there's a lot of history here.
Pops, I'm Angelo Zeffirelli. Call me Zephyr. You're the one ruining the neighborhood.
I'm so tired of all this gentrify vacation crap.
You have to date the fourth guy that enters the office for 1 month.
Never mind her. Here's my number. Please. Oh.
Once in a lifetime, think of now.
So to what do I owe the pleasure? You here to steal my girlfriend again?
I didn't know you were gonna mention us to him.
I think tonight is perfect. He was thoughtful and funny.
There's a bit of an age difference.
Who cares? You'll get some moisturizer.
Something tells me he's going to be a really great kisser.
Why do you think?
Because I'm going to teach him.
I hear dating past your prime can be harrowing.
This is personal. I'm gonna take that store from you.
I think this is about revenge. How can you work for that guy?
Don't judge me.
What do you think?
They're fruits.
Is it just a coincidence that your last names are Bucci, Tucci, and Cucci?
Oh, what are you, a wise guy?
So live today.
Boom, there you go. That was the trailer for A Brooklyn Love Story, streaming right now on Prime Video, digital, all the different platforms. Go check it out right now. I'm Kuya, this is Nerds Rule the World. Joining me to talk all things A Brooklyn Love Story is one of the stars, the lead, the romantic angle for this romantic comedy. She is Katie McCarty, who plays Honey Caputo. How are you today?
I'm doing great, thanks. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you for your time. This film was a delight. It was like a throwback film for me, as a actor, filmmaker, also a critic, but a critic who does a lot of watching of films. It was refreshing because, you know, some projects are like so dark and a little bit, you know, overblown in different respects. And also independent films can be, you know, very independent up to your big feature. This was refreshing. It was very sweet. It was heartwarming. It was layered with, you know, the conversations of, you know, gentrification, but also community, family, and then this beautiful love angle between you and Michael Morano, finding love with all of that. So bravo to you, and bravo that it's out there. Again, like I said, as a filmmaker, I know how hard it is to get our projects out there, and I'm so happy for you and the rest of the team that it's out there, and hopefully your stardom, like I said earlier, will just shoot to the stars because you killed it in this. Katie.
Thank you so much, Kuya. I really, really appreciate that. I really do.
Definitely.
So great to have been a part of this film. It was like you said, there's just it's so heartfelt and there's so many layers to it. There's such a sense of community that's so pervasive throughout it as well. It's a story about love and friendship and family and loyalty and community. So it was an amazing experience.
Bravo. So let's start it back to the beginning. We're getting the call. I know, as again actors, we not fail, but we audition like 75-85% of the time, right. And maybe it's that 10 to 15 that we actually score a great gig. What was it like when you read for this and then meeting Steve? I think he said you joined him from a donut and a coffee right before he took his flight to New York. What was that like in regards to booking the role of Honey Caputo?
I was so grateful to have booked it. I did a self-tape for it initially, and then we ended up doing a Zoom with Michael on it as well, and Jeff Mazzola, one of the producers, and Steve were on that. And then I ended up meeting Steve. Like Steve mentioned, I met him at a coffee shop close by, and we just talked about the film and his vision for it, and you know, whether it would be a good fit, and it was so incredible meeting him. And at that point, I was really just keeping my fingers crossed. So couldn't have been more thrilled to actually book it. And like you said, with how difficult it is to book, and it was just, you know, from not only from having read the script and worked on the scenes for the purposes of the audition, but then after having had the conversation with Steve, I was really just in love with the project at that point and really wanting to be a part of it. So I was just so grateful.
How do you feel about rom-coms? What do you love? What do you think, or what do you think it is about that we as fans, as viewers, and as actors, there could be a different take there from an actor standpoint and a viewer standpoint.
Right.
What we love about rom-coms like this.
I think there's something, universally, rom-coms are just, they're fun. They're just such a fun escape. And I think ultimately all of us want to find love and have love in our lives. And I think that regardless of everything that's going on in the world, I mean, to have humor versus just like a romance, to have the humor part, the calm part of a rom-com is so important as well, just to have humor in life with everything going on. So I think they're a good escape. Everyone wants to find love. We all know that regardless of whatever conflict there is, that they're going to end up together. It's going to end up working out. So I think that in an uncertain world can just be something that is really important for people to see. And I know growing up that watching rom-coms, it was one of the reasons that I think I wanted to grow up and be an actress, because I just loved watching them.
I agree. So throwing that actor hat on, right? So you're an actress,
Yes.
you book this role, but you have to have that chemistry. So I think, as you said, you did a Zoom to kind of maybe build that chemistry and or just see how, it would flow. What was that like interfacing with Michael Moona, who is gorgeous,
I know. Yeah.
It should have been too difficult.
Michael is an incredible actor. He's gorgeous, and he's also just such a genuine and sweet person inside and out. Just so incredible. So he was wonderful to work with, and it wasn't difficult at all. And from the moment I met him on the Zoom, I just knew, I was like, this is going to be a good fit. I just knew that I really wanted it and would love working with him, and that's exactly how it went when we were on set as well.
Wonderful. All right, so we're off to New York, because I think you're on the West Coast like Steve is.
I'm actually,
I know New York is home for him, or so. What was that like in Brooklyn? Because Brooklyn is also another character in this film in a lot of ways. What was that like filming?
Oh, I absolutely loved it. I actually do live in New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I live in New York, and it's so funny that you asked this, because my mom's family is originally all from New York. My mom was born in Brooklyn, my grandma born and bred here, great grandmother, we used to come and visit her when we were little. And so New York's always been a special place for me, and it's been home for about 10 years, but I'm the only one that's back. I'm the only one here. Everybody else moved away. And so I live in downtown Brooklyn, kind of, it's more transient. It just feels like you're in Manhattan. So having this experience was really special for me in a number of reasons, or in a number of ways rather, because there is such a sense of community. We shot the entire thing on location in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. And it was so special. I had Dan Grimaldi telling me, who plays Pops Moona, he's incredible in this, such a wonderful down-to-earth person. And he'd be because he grew up there. So he's teaching me, oh, hey, down this street, down that block, this happened. And so it was really cool to be connected to Brooklyn in a way that I wasn't before, because I never had someone in my adult life, from the family be like, hey, this is what the neighborhood was like. This is, telling the stories, hearing Dan's stories, and then also just the neighborhood, the cafes, the restaurants, the people in Bay Ridge were so excited to have us filming there. And there was just such a sense of community on and off set with the entire cast and crew. So yeah, it was really cool shooting, because I live in Brooklyn, so it was really cool to be able to film in the same place that I live too, I filmed in New York before, but to be in the same borough, it was really, really cool.
Yeah, you get to go home every night.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was truly, truly a gift in every way.
I love
and
that.
It made me feel more connected to New York, with my mom's side having been from here. I'm the only one that's here. It made me feel more connected to it in a way that I had never felt before. And now there's such a strong community of people. It's the gift that keeps on giving for me, because the entire cast and crew, so many of the actors, we still support each other today, go to each other's projects and premieres and shows. So it was a really, really special experience. And I feel more connected to Brooklyn now, and more a part of the community of New York now.
I absolutely love that. That is so precious. Because I'm sure as an actor, you make a second family from your set family, and they become like your friends for life, especially if you really find those deep connections. Well, we're empaths as artists, we're empaths. So you really bond fast. So that is absolutely adorable. Steve was telling me that, it was like a reunion in ways for him, because, he's in LA and now coming back. but
Yeah.
just it's a reunion of sorts, and that community vibe. It showed
Yeah.
through the screen, and it's wonderful that it's came behind the set, on the set, and just is still building much later. It's like it's priceless. It's beautiful.
It really is. And, Steve was a big part of that in the sense that he's such an incredible director, and not only in his, in his art and his vision for everything, but, the director really sets the tone for what the energy on set's going to be, what the vibe is. And he really makes it just such a fun and comfortable environment for everyone. And I think that was a big part of it as well, enabling everyone to really become a family. So it was amazing.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. So Honey Caputo.
Honey Caputo.
Working for this, kind of a Weasley guy, but
yeah.
Everybody has their own qualities, and then things kind of changed up a little bit. I think for you, you had the most to kind of go back and forth. You meet somebody who's interesting, and but then you still got to work for this guy who has alternative plans for what they're doing. So you had to kind of fall on that dynamic. What was that like playing that? Did you have like a special moment or a scene in there that was just a delight when you finally filmed that part of the film?
I mean, there were so many scenes that were so fun in that regard. And it's funny because, I worked for the Brooklyn Borough President Gregory McGuire. So I'm working for him. He's in cahoots with the hotshot developer Angelo Zeffirelli, and both of them were incredible. Chris Ryan and Ross Stevens, and then they've got the character Stacy, played by Ephraim Lopez. So they're the villains of the movie, essentially trying to, in a greedy bid to gentrify the neighborhood. They're trying to pressure Pops to sell the store, and then you've got Mike that comes in, and then my best friend in the film, Norma. It was really fun working with her. Greta Keesby, another amazing actress, and she, the moment Mike comes in, she's like, "This guy, you got to date this guy."
That was so cute, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, I loved that scene, and there's that conflict of interest between them from the start. Because my character Honey is essentially working for the villains of the movie, so that's really fun. I mean, we had such a great time shooting the scene in Positano. That was really fun. The scenes down by the water, but I really love those office scenes, the comedy in those, getting to work with all the different actors and characters that were in those scenes.
I love that. Speaking of Brooklyn, I have family in Brooklyn. So one of the things I also love, and I'm sure you probably do as well as filmmakers when we work on these projects, but like I want to go visit certain places I saw in the film. And so when next time I'm in Brooklyn, I'm like look for certain places that y'all shot at. Just to like a restaurant there. I want to have something there, all of that. So just love that.
Positano. You have to, I'm very picky with Italian food, with my mom's side being Italian, and I'm very picky with food in general. And that restaurant is truly amazing. So if you make it to Bay Ridge, do go to Positano. But then just having the landscape of the Narrows in the back, the Verrazano Bridge, because that's why it was originally called the Narrows, because of the Verrazano Bridge.
Yeah, I like that name because it just makes it so special especially for from people from Brooklyn. That's what But then also I can't deny I thought it was wise, and I was talking with Steve about this, that it was changed to a Brooklyn Love Story because then Brooklyn, okay, everybody knows Brooklyn.
Everybody knows Brooklyn.
What did you think about that with the title change up?
No, I totally agree. As much as I loved the Narrows and the connection with it, in terms of the Verrazano Bridge and everyone from Brooklyn and specifically from Bay Ridge knowing that's it's called the Narrows. I really like the title change as well, because when Steve explained it and people were explaining that there's such a far reach, there's so many people from Brooklyn that have moved away. They're all over the country, and there's such a pride in that. And then, so they're seeing a title, oh, Brooklyn. Okay, I wanna watch that. And there's just something about it that makes you want to watch it. Brooklyn Love Story. So I thought it was a good choice changing it as well.
Amazing. So let me remind everybody again, A Brooklyn Love Story is streaming right now on Prime Video. Go check it out, and all digital platforms. Go buy it. You want to watch this again and again and again with family. It's that type of a film. It's that feel good that just we need that. We need that energy every now and then. So Katie, before we go and everything, I wanted to find out, do you have a Brooklyn love story?
Do I have a Brooklyn love
And you don't have to give it too many nitty-gritty details and, bring up anything, because I don't want to get you in trouble. Wait, could you share, if not your own, one you heard from somebody?
This is a really good question. I, to be honest with you, have not yet had my own Brooklyn love story. Man, do I have any?
Now you got everybody sad. Like, what? Look at you, Katie. You're amazing.
Maybe I still will, though. Maybe that's the point of it. Maybe there'll still be a Brooklyn love story for me. It could still be in the stars. I'm trying to think if I don't really know too many. I don't even have a story. Is that terrible? I don't have a Brooklyn love story. Although I will say, just again, with my mom's side of the family being from here, my grandparents met in Brooklyn. So there's a Brooklyn love story.
There you go. Family. Yeah.
I wouldn't be here if that Brooklyn love story hadn't taken place.
Exactly. And we appreciate that Brooklyn love story because we now have the amazing Katie McCarty. You are wonderful in this. As Steve and I was talking, I'm like, you're a highlight, such an amazing cast of some well-established people. But like, if there's a star on the rise, no knock to everybody else, but like, Katie, man, like you've got all the makings. I need to see you really like get down, and hopefully this will propel your stardom even more. So fingers crossed for you in 2025.
That means a lot. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Kuya. Thank you.
Definitely. So congratulations on this. How can my people follow you? Do you have like social handles or is there anything else that we can expect coming from the amazing Katie McCarty?
Oh, thank you. So I am on Instagram at Katie McCarty Official. I've got a website, katiemccarty.com. And so those would be the two main places. And then I have another rom-com, speaking of rom-coms, out on Amazon Prime called Just for Showmance, a Christmas movie with Melissa Joan Hart called A Very Nutty Christmas, also out on Amazon Prime. And so, yeah, that's a couple spots.
Love it. Love it. Are there any other genres like you would love to like step your feet in? So we love you in the rom-coms, but I'm curious for yourself as an actor, that you want to challenge yourself maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually speaking with Steve about this recently. And, as much as I really do love the genre of romantic comedy, I also really love comedy and drama as well. I've been a part of some thrillers and Law and Order SVU, The Blacklist, and so I feel grateful for that work. But I would really like to do some more dramatic work as well, some grittier roles, and it's definitely something that is on my list that I'm hoping for. I would love to. One of the dreams within a dream is to do an action movie.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I do really appreciate this genre. I've enjoyed working in more dramatic roles as well, and really would love to do more of that.
All right. Well, I'm going to put that energy into the universe. And being a filmmaker myself, I always like finding this out because I'm like, okay, hey, I can tap into this person I met while doing this interview. Because I'm a filmmaker first. This is something I found myself doing to just promote the industry that I love and meet and network with other people in this business. So I'm honored to give you love and light with a Brooklyn story. Again, well done. And I'm going to put that energy into the universe. And all my other filmmaking friends, producers, the amazing Katie McCarty, go check out this film. And if you have an action project or just anything else that, you think she would be perfect for, hit me up and we'll hit her up and all the things, all the love.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I also love comedy. There's a series that I did. It's not out yet, but it's with an incredible writer and director who I believe is a comedic genius named Bobby Quinn Rice. So I'm so grateful to Anthony Del Negro for that. So that's another thing to look out for in the future. So
wonderful. Thank you so much, Katie. Yo, like I said, hit her up. Her links will be in the description. Do all the follows, subscribes, all the things. Support A Brooklyn Love Story, the amazing Katie McCarty. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Please come back as you book these gigs because I know you will. So I can give you your virtual flowers and we can celebrate that. And hopefully maybe we can even find each other on a set sometime.
I would love that. That would be amazing. Thank you so much for having me on.
My pleasure. The amazing Katie McCarty, A Brooklyn Love Story, available right now. Prime Video. I'm Kuya P. This is Nerds Rule the World.
Thank you.
There's a cut. recording. And here we go. In a one, two, three.